klaxons sound and the heavy tread of power armor boots thunders through the ship. Menials cower as Astartes respond to the Iron Warriors flooding in through the breaches in the hull of the Coruscare. The ship's systems were slowly coming back online, but Vox traffic was still intermittent and unreliable. However, no Vox message was needed to confirm what every Salamander legionary on the ship already knew. They had been betrayed, and the Iron Warriors had established a beachhead on their ship. Now was the time for action. Now was the time to reclaim the Coruscare. Alright, Dirk here from Dirk's Dystopia. We're here for the second episode of The Flight of the Coruscare. Iron Warriors have a beachhead on the ship, and Tony's going to try and push further in. Today his goal is to disable the Engineerium so that I can't flee and suck to flee into the warp with all his dudes on my ship.
That's right.
So he's going to come in, he's going to try and disable this, and it should be a good game. I'm hoping we get all the rules right, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll be back in a second with the armies. The sarcophagus was clearly damaged, but not breached. The tech adepts scurried around, running checks and performing rites to the Omnissiah. "How long until you can have him in another contemptor shell?" queried Captain Neven. One of the tech adepts looked up from his data slate, shock evident even on his machine-augmented face. "His sarcophagus is badly damaged. The interfaces will take much time to repair." "How long?" growled the captain. "We can hardwire him into a Cortus shell. The process won't be pleasant for him, but we could probably do it within the hour," the adept stammered. Static hissed from the Vox emitter on the sarcophagus before Valkoth's strained voice came through. "Do it. Wire me in. I will make up for my failings in the hangar bay." Salamander's army overview. It's going to be led by a Praetor in Cataphracti. He has all of the standard Praetor options, digital lasers, and he is carrying a Thunder Hammer. I also have upgraded him with the Salamander's only Mantle of the Elder Drake, so he is Eternal Warrior. He's going to be leading 5 Cataphracti Terminators. Sergeant has a Power Sword. There are 2 Chain Fists, 2 Power Fists, and Heavy Flamer in there. Otherwise, it's what you see is what you get. Then we have Ancient Valkoth. They slapped him in a Cortus Contemptor shell after the last disastrous outing, so he's out there. He's just not quite as effective as he was before. And then rounding out is 2 10-man veteran tactical squads with a pair of heavy flamers in each. So that's Tac Squad 1, that's Tac Squad 2. I am running Pride of the Legion to get this to work, so the 2 veterans are the troops along with the Terminators, and then there's just the 1 elite choice. So none of the special Salamanders rules. That's what we have here. "Idiot," spat Erasmus Golg. "You lost one of Perturabo's Iron Circle? He will not be pleased." "I deemed it an acceptable loss in the equation of war," shot back Warsmith Delgar. "We have a beachhead on the Salamander's ship now." "That is Perturabo's call," retorted Golg. "I will assume command of this boarding action and disable their engines. Assemble my veteran squads and Terminators." Warsmith Delgar turned, chagrin clear on his face, and stalked back towards the hangar bay, shouting orders. Iron Warriors attack force.
Yeah, so this is my 1,000-point army. It's led by good old Erasmus Golg. We're going for a more elite army this time. And then we're going to start over here. We have one of 2 veteran squads. They're pretty much identically kitted out. We have 2 missile launchers with suspensor webs, Sergeant with Artificer Armor, Power Axe, and Bolt Pistol. And then the Terminator squad, we got 7-man this time. Auto Cannon, a bunch of Combi Meltas, a couple guys with Lightning Claws. And then the second veteran squad with Sergeant with Arty Armor, Power Fist, and Bolt Pistol. And again, the 2 missile launchers. Obviously, those guys will be taking sharpshooters as their veteran tactic for that sweet, sweet rending.
Yeah, right.
So we'll see how it goes. It's a lot less bodies than I normally bring, but I think the firepower is going to make up for it.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, we'll be back with deployment. Air shrieked as the breaching charges imploded the blast door leading to the Engineerium. "Disable their engines temporarily so these cowards cannot escape," barked Erasmus Golg. "The rest of you, find a way to flank these pitiful lizards." Golg led his veteran squad down the hallway. 2 missile launchers on suspensor webs floated with them. They took up position at the end of the passage in view of several backup generators and servitor-controlled maintenance machines. Around the corner, waiting in the stifling heat and haze, was Ancient Valkoth and a Terminator squad led by Captain Deven. Turn 1 summary. The Iron Warriors moved up, got a little better position, took a pot shot across. They actually scored a penetrating hit on the objective, but the objectives have a 4-up invuln from ranged attacks. The attackers need to make sure that they are destroyed. So I did manage to pull up that 4-up invuln, and it's still there. Salamanders moved up. The Praetor split off and headed back towards this back hallway. I'm a little nervous about him outflanking down this hallway and having free reign of all those objectives. I'm not sure the Praetor is such a good idea to send back there, but he's a brave Salamander like that. The Terminators and the Contemptor moved up. The Terminators made 3 shots, snuck 1 through Erasmus's armor. He took a wound from their combi bolters, and then dropped a 6 from the Carey's assault cannon and managed to score 2 hits of the 6, and then Tony promptly picked up the dice and rolled 2 1s. So that is an Erasmus shape hole right there at the front of the unit, and he's down a warlord, but he's an excellent tactician, and I believe that he will come back quite strong. So how do you feel right now, Tony?
We're turn 1 did not go my way, but that's all right.
But turn 2's here.
Turn 2's gonna be mine.
All right. The Iron Warrior veterans pushed out of the passageway and took up position behind a servitor-controlled welder. The machine ignored them and continued its pre-programmed tasks. 2 of the veteran legionaries struggled to get the missile launchers to lock onto a nearby plasma conduit. The oppressive heat and smoke made targeting difficult. "Fire!" growled Golg. 2 missiles screamed out from the squad, wrecking some auxiliary equipment but doing no actual damage to the ship's systems. "Miss again, and I will kill you myself," Golg threatened. "Valkoth, take the Terminators and eliminate the threat on the engines. I will secure the central control stations and coordinate reinforcements," ordered Captain Deven as he turned toward the access to the engine controls. "Understood, Captain," came the tense voice from the Vox emitter on the hulking dreadnought shell. The tech adept was not wrong. The process of being hardwired into the quarter shell was difficult and painful. Valkoth thundered around the corner, using all of his will to rein in the unruly machine spirit in his dreadnought frame. The Terminators followed closely behind. As they rounded the corner, they brought up their combi bolters, took aim, and fired at the Iron Warrior squad, taking cover behind the servitor. One of the shells found its mark, and Golg grunted as a bolt exploded and ripped into his chest. Milliseconds later, the assault cannon on Valkoth's right arm clattered and whined as it spun up to speed. A hail of shells peppered into the Iron Warriors. 2 of the shells punched through the primary power conduits in Golg's Terminator armor, shutting his suit down and taking him out of the battle. All right, turn 2 summary. The Iron Warriors outflanked over there, and their Tartaros came on this way, ran a whopping 1 inch, and they managed to ping a couple hull points off the Dreadnought, who's still operating on 1 hull point. And then in the Salamanders phase, this vet squad came in and ran to move up into a better position. The Praetor kind of shifted down that way, and the Terminators are over here. We're going to call it tactically seeking cover. They're not cowards. And, and they just watched 2 of their buddies just get annihilated by missiles. So, and then the Contemptor charged that unit, which was a few Marines larger. Killed 2.
Killed 2 in shooting phase and 2 in combat.
Right, so killed 4 that round. Broke the squad, but failed to capitalize on it. And so that's the end of that. He's kind of angled, hoping he can survive 1 more turn with 1 hull point. I don't have a lot of faith in Ancient Valkoth.
Actually, you have to see if he blows up.
Oh, we do. If I roll a 1 here, and I just picked up the dice on a 1. No.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Good. All right, so we'll be back with Iron Warriors turn 3. Golg is down. All available squads converge on the auxiliary engine bay, the veteran sergeant calmly relayed across the VoxNet. Another veteran squad appeared through an open hatch nearby just seconds after the call went out. "Bring down that dreadnought," ordered the freshly promoted veteran sergeant. A pair of missiles and a storm of bolter fire shot out from the newly arrived tactical squad. The missiles went wide, still having trouble locking targets in the oppressive heat, but one of the bolter shells managed to find a weak spot, damaging one of the Contemptor's auxiliary systems. The original squad targeted the Terminators and managed to bring down 2 of them in a hail of bolter shells and missiles. Valkoth, engage the tactical squads and delay them as long as possible. All other units make haste to the central control stations. I have reports of an Iron Warrior Terminator squad there, ordered Captain Neven. Understood, Ancient Valkoth gritted back as he lumbered forward, still straining to rein in the fiery machine spirit in his shell. Flames and shells shrieked from his weapons into the veteran tactical squad in front of him, felling several of the squad as they scrambled to protect the sergeant that was now acting commander of the engagement. The thrill of the destruction he had caused was too much for him to rein in, and he lost control of the machine spirit and charged headlong into the squad, a gurgling rage blasting from his vox emitters. He was oblivious to the missiles smashing into him as he crashed into the squad, pulverizing 2 of them with his fist, their blood baptizing his shell. The Iron Warriors wisely fell back down the hall, trying to get some room between them and the raging dreadnought. Alright, turn 3 recap. Iron Warriors finished off the dreadnought that was limping on 1 hull point there, and some traitorous came up and blew a door.
Yep. And
we had a whole big long rules checkup to figure out that you cannot consolidate when blowing up doors or vehicles. And then Salamanders outflanked, came on here.
Roasted a vet squad off the board.
Right. There was, in fact, an entire 10-man vet squad right there.
They're ash.
They're not there anymore. And then I moved in, closed some doors. I'm trying to lock down the place to defend against the last incursion of traitorous here. So it's getting tight here, and we'll see. As we talked about a little bit ago, currently I have 4 points and he has 3. He has blown up 3 objectives on a chain reaction, which I think is kind of cheesy, but you know, but Tony's he's going to take full advantage of that. And then I have Slay the Warlord, First Blood, and I still own 2 objectives, so I get 1 victory point for each one still standing.
Yep.
So it's down to what the traitorous can do in the next couple turns.
Yeah.
Back with Iron Warriors turn 4. The veteran tactical squad that had fled the wrath of the dreadnought quickly recovered and snapped off a pair of missiles into Valkoth's rear armor, damaging critical systems and shutting his shell down, effectively removing him from the fight. The Terminators kept charging towards the control room, shredding blast doors as they went. The newly arrived veteran tactical squad charged into the nearby plasma conduit, exploding it and setting off a chain reaction that blew a further 2 conduits. The loss of 1 more vital control station would push the engines into a critical overload state that would require their immediate shutdown until repairs could be performed and the machine spirits assuaged. Arriving seconds too late to save Ancient Valkoth or the vital plasma conduits, a Salamander veteran squad stormed into the engine bay. Quickly surveying the chamber, the sergeant ordered the purging of the Iron Warrior squad that had started the chain reaction. As flamers whooshed and bolters thundered, the Iron Warrior squad ceased to exist, leaving nothing but ash and charred ceramite to mark their passing. The rest of the Salamander forces continued to converge on the engine control room. Alright, turn 4, summary. Traitorous have moved up and blown a second door, moving ever closer to the 2 objectives that they need. They just need to kill 1 of them. So we have that. The Cataphracti have kind of shunted off to the side. Traitorous have to make a choice. They can either deal with the Cataphracti and risk, or basically not blow a door, or deal with me coming in from behind. So I'm hoping that pays off. We shall see. They have just moved off to the side. Well, that was because that was last turn that they obliterated the squad. So yeah, they lost a couple, including a flamer to the veteran tac squad shooting over there. And yeah, that's about it. I'm playing kind of safe with my Praetor, because if I lose him, that ties the game with Slay the Warlord. So that's turn 4. Moving on to Iron Warriors turn 5. The remaining Iron Warrior veteran tactical squad opened up on the Salamander squad, seeking revenge for their brothers. They managed to fell 2 of the Salamanders with a storm of missile and bolter fire. Meanwhile, in the engine control room, the Iron Warrior Terminator squad continued to blast through doors on their way to the last 2 plasma conduits. All units in the control room, hold your position, voxed Captain Neven. Everyone else, delay the enemy and keep the remaining Iron Warriors engaged and away from the control center. Alright, turn 5, turn summary. The Iron Warriors moved into the room, blew this door. They ignored my Terminators that were hanging in the back.
Yep.
And then that was basically, I think you picked off another guy over there.
Yep. Yep. Shot one more Marine veteran off the table.
And then I moved up into what I thought was I'm not going to fail charge range. I declared a charge, lost 2 guys.
Yep.
2 guys.
Yep.
And I rolled a 4. -1 is 3. I needed 4 inches.
Yep.
So yeah, my Terminators charged in, killed a couple, but died, and so he got a 3-inch consolidate off it. And now we are going to see if we go on to turn 6.
All right. We do not.
We do not.
Game
that is
ends.
Game over. I'll be back. The Iron Warrior Tactical Squad continued to enact vengeance on the Salamander Squad, dropping another of their number. In the engine room, the Iron Warrior Terminators ignored the hulking Cataphracti Salamanders in the room and cut through the last remaining door between them and their objective, desperate not to fail Perturabo. The Salamanders in the engine room opened up on the Iron Warrior Terminators, felling 2 of their number. "All units, engage the Iron Warriors and hold them here," ordered Captain Even. The Salamander Tactical Squad attempted to engage, but were hampered by the wreckage of the door and lost 2 of their number to shots from the Iron Warriors. The Terminators had no such issue and smashed into the Iron Warriors, cutting down 1 of them. The Iron Warriors retaliated and wiped out the Salamander Terminators to a man. Alright, the game is over. Tony obliged and rolled a 1. So that means we do not go on to turn 6. This is the state of the battlefield at the end here. They were so close. Next turn, they would have walked out. Most likely just popped that plasma conduit sitting right there in the corner, and that would have been game. It would have been a 2-point swing. Not a ton left on the board. I have a tac squad back here, an attack squad here, along with my Praetor, and he's got his Tartaros and part of attack squad over there. So it was a bloody game. It's Zone Mortalis. It's supposed to be a bloody game, so I guess we did that right. So that's it. We'll be back with a post game, and that's it. Salamander's victory.
Yeah.
Finally. Captain Even stood in the doorway opposite the hulking Iron Warriors. He had little hope of stopping them before they managed to destroy another plasma conduit and send the reactors into meltdown. Suddenly, a rune lit up and began flashing in the corner of his visor display. The ship-wide Voxnet was back up. "Lock down the Engineerium. Emergency Protocol Omicron. Send available reinforcements to my location immediately," the captain ordered. He saluted the Iron Warriors with his Thunderhammer as blast shielding slammed down between him and the Terminators, sealing them into the room with no hope of reaching the vital plasma conduits. Alright, we're back for post-game. Spoiler alert, it was Salamander's victory. It was not by any means a sure thing.
That was tight.
It was tight. Yep. I'm not sure if you'd have rolled anything other than a 1 or a 2 in that last.
Yeah, if turn 6 would have been interesting.
Yeah. So we both have a couple things to talk about. Why don't you go first since you're the guest?
All right. Well, unit that I liked was the veteran squad that started the chain reaction. That got me 3 points. They did their job
with a power axe.
Yeah, the sergeant came in, did his job. Liked their ability to outflank. Love the missile launchers with dispenser webs. That was pretty huge. Veterans are just a very, very flexible unit. They're a point investment, but I think they are worthwhile after having used them now.
I do agree.
And then I wanted to talk for a second about the failure that is Erasmus Golg.
It's straight out of the Heresy. It's fine.
So he was definitely very underwhelming, but that was more just dice rolls, man. That first couple turns, I could not.
That was a freak shot, man.
It was, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Overall, I was happy with how the army performed. All 3 of my units that I brought were worthwhile.
You're refusing to count gold.
He just didn't do anything. But that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
And in some respects, he did do something. I mean, he ate a bunch of fire for the veteran squad, which is kind of what I wanted him to do.
Right.
So I guess I can't complain too much. But no, it was a good game. Really tight. Came right down to it. It was kind of some fun swings with the chain reaction.
It really did.
That was pretty big. So it was cool to see.
I brought my vet tac squad. They walked on. They managed to pull that outflank, and they walked on, and they literally vaporized that squad after the chain reaction. It was a turn late, but to a man, they just blew it away.
Melted them.
double flamer, 16 shots with the flamer, and then because he had just charged in, so he was all
nice piled up.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way they performed. Sure. And haven't talked with the other vet technical squad, like really failing a 3-inch charge, 4-inch charge, right? But that happens to be more often than not. Probably shouldn't play Salamanders.
That's right.
Maybe I'll play Word Bearers or something.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, like he said, super swingy game. There's probably a spot on the camera where I thought that was game. When he blew 3, and I'm like, I quick did math in the head, and I forgot there was Warlord and First Blood. But yeah, it's you hit 1, you can roll a 6, and blow up another one, and he did that twice.
That was pretty silly.
Boom, boom. So that's it.
Yeah.
Next up, we're coming back with. So we've protected the Engineerium. Our engines are intact, but they are going to go after the weapons batteries because my systems are coming back online. I'm going to start firing back on their ship.
Can't have that.
Can't have that. So we're going after weapons batteries.
That's right.
That scenario is a little interesting. We'll have to play with setting it up and making sure it's balanced for both sides. It's a little goofy. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy with the game.
Yeah.
And most of the winners usually are. But yeah, I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to go south real quick, but it didn't. So we'll see you back for episode 3. Thanks very much for watching.